with our grand tour. All summer long, our reporters are crisscrossing Germany in the ARTS.21 convertible. Today we're in Baden-Württemberg, the land of the poets.
I was supposed to begin my tour by driving to Laufen on the river Neckar.
It's too hot for the car, but it isn't a problem. I'm well prepared, and anyway, in the country of poets, pedaling is the best way to travel and see all the literary sights.
Nowhere in Germany are there so many poets as here in Baden-Württemberg, and there are lots of beautiful bicycle routes. I start off in the birthplace of Hölderlin. The Romantic poet was born in 1770 in Laufen and spent his first 4 years in this town on the Neckar. First stop, the Hölderlin Room in Klosterhof Museum. I meet Germany's only Hölderlin curator.
Hölderlin was in fact a puzzling person, partly in his life and partly in his work. And that extends to the present day and makes him utterly fascinating. Here we have an audio book of poems by Hölderlin. I'm looking for the poem called The Neckar.
Der Neckar. In deinen Tälern wachte mein Herz mir auf zum Leben. Deine Wellen umspielten mich und all der holden Hügel, die dich, Wanderer, kennen, ist keiner fremd mir.
He really achieved something you'd want every poet to achieve.
And that was?
He brought something new into the language. He made the German language, which tends to be harsh, soft and flowing.
You can't avoid Hölderlin in Laufen. Even the roundabout is dedicated to the town's most famous son. The next stop on my literary cycle tour was supposed to be Brackenheim, where the first president of West Germany was born. Theodor Heuss wasn't just a politician, he also had literary ambitions. But the museum is still closed, and I'm really getting into cycling. So it's up the Michaelsberg hill we go.
It's a beautiful route, but as they say, literature is hard work.
I'm rewarded by some interesting reading matter. The first German bestseller written by a woman in the 18th century, The History of Lady Sophie Sternheim. The book leads me directly to Bönningheim and the palace, where Sophie Laroche self-confidently wrote about female perceptions.
For the first time in my life, I had permitted myself to harbor thoughts of revenge, of secret cunning. Must I not take it as just punishment that I have fallen into the clutches of malice and deceit? Why did I believe appearances?
Right next to the palace is a museum devoted to Sophie Laroche and her work. Back on my bike, I meet the man who devised the literary cycle routes, Dr. Thomas Schmidt. He accompanies me to a palace where a murder was committed in a psychological thriller, Laufen's railway tunnel.
The novel was written by an author you wouldn't associate with this area. You'd connect him with Vienna. Heimito von Doderer. He was one of the best-known 20th century Austrian authors. He wrote a detective novel, and he wanted a tunnel in the novel. And he found this one here in Swabia. In fact, in the novel, the tunnel is what makes it possible to travel into the unconscious mind.
After 40 kilometers, I'm back where I started, Laufen on the Neckar.
Well, It was pretty torturous, this tour of literature, but it was worth it, even though I'm completely exhausted. And remember, literature is all the doping you need.
Next week, the fifth leg of our grand tour takes us to a hip-hop festival in Eastern Germany.